going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And today we're gonna smoke on modern feminism and MGTOW, because I'm gonna explain to you guys how both these things are just opposite ends of the same spectrum, pushing the same agenda. We're not even gonna waste no time. We're about to get straight into this. Now, first of all, before we start our lesson, I want to point something out to you guys. What I want to point out is there's a reason that says third, fourth wave feminism. I have no problem with feminism as a whole. See, old school, first, second generation feminism, back when it was about abortion rights, back when it was about voting rights, back when it was about having the right to own property, back when it was about having the right to work, having the right to drive, things of those natures, okay? I was fine with it. But what you guys gotta understand is third, fourth wave modern feminism has nothing to do with anything as far as equality of rights. This is about power. What you have here is power tripping, and what you have here is losing the power. Alright? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's go with point number one, okay? Both of these things ignore laws, and focus on social norms. Okay? Really social stereotypes more than social norms. What am I saying with that? What do you hear a lot of modern feminists attack? They'll say, I'm attacking the patriarchy. What patriarchy? Women can drive, women can work, women can go to school, women can buy property, women have their own right to vote. They have their own right to everything. So where is the patriarchy that you're fighting? See, it's not really a patriarchy. They'll do things in third wave feminism like go on a slut walk for the right to be butt naked and sleep with who they want. What law is there in society stopping women from sleeping with who they want? There is no law in society stopping women from sleeping with who they want. This isn't a problem with the law. This is a problem with the social norm, aka the social stereotype of men just calling women sluts when they decide to sleep with who they want. And guess what? You cannot control what people say. That's a feeling problem. That is not a society problem. That's not a law. That's a feeling problem, okay? We can move on, and we can go even deeper than that. They'll often also bring up, oh, well, women get paid less for the same work as men. That's illegal. Women do not get paid less for the same work as men. This has been debunked 1,001 times, but I'm going to give you the short version of the debunk again. The reason there appears to be a wage gap when you average out men wages and female wages is because at the end of the day, there's still a good portion of society that believes in old school gender roles, which means there are a lot of women who do not work at all. Now, if you took math in school and you understood it, you know that a zero kills an average. So you can have 5 women making $100,000, right? But 1 woman making zero. And then you have 3 men making $100,000 and 2 men making $50,000. And guess what? They're going to crush your average because they have no zeros. And we also aren't even talking about how women prefer to not take high risk jobs, okay? They prefer paper or pencil pushing jobs in close quarters with low risk. So they tend to avoid things like construction, where you can make a lot of money. Welding, where you can make a lot of money. CDLs or truck driving, where you can make a lot of money. Not all, but most, okay? So this has nothing to do with laws. It has nothing to do with society. This is about feelings and social norms, aka stereotypes. Now let's get into MGTOW. It's the same thing. MGTOW says stuff like, well, the child support laws aren't fair. Well, how isn't the child support laws fair? Explain to me how the child support laws aren't fair. Because there's plenty of women who make more money than men, and guess what happens when they break up? They get put on child support. There's nothing in any child support law that says only women can get it. So this isn't that it's not fair. You're just used to seeing the social norm or the societal stereotype of the woman getting the money. Same thing with the other thing they complain about. But what about divorce raping? Women divorce rape men. Well, we see Adele paying her husband right now. We see Mary J. Blige paying her husband right now. And the further along we get, and the more women take advantage of this newfound ability to be able to work and earn high wages, we see more and more women getting put on alimony and child support. But yet these guys still say, well, women don't get to pay alimony, they don't get child support. That's not truth. That's not laws. That's social norm, stereotypes, and feelings. Okay? You'll often see, if those of you who've been to college know, they'll tell you, look to your right, look to your left, one of those men are going to rape you, okay? That's a misandrous statement masked as empowerment that's supposed to be enlightening women. Other stereotypical things they tell women. Men only want sex. Men have no feelings. Men are abusers. Men are players. All these are misandrous statements. Are some men this? Yes, but most men aren't even that. As a matter of fact, as of today, 30% of men under 24 are freaking virgins. So how the heck can they be players and rapists when they aren't even having sex? Now, vice versa for MGTOW. What do MGTOW tell you about women? They'll say women only want your money. They don't care about you. They're liars. They're sluts and they're hypergamous. Now, is that true of some women? Sure. Is that true of all women? No, that's not true of all women. As a matter of fact, you look at certain communities like the Black and Hispanic community, the majority of the households are ran by women. So if the women were hypergamous, and if the women only wanted the men for their money, why the hell are they taking care of the kids by themselves? Okay? These are general stereotypical statements that are made by most feminists in the third and fourth wave and most MGTOW that are meant to sensationalize the negative of both sexes so that they can heap up a bunch of hatred towards the opposing sex, okay? There's no statistical backing to either one of those statements. They're just random things that spew across both of the sexes. Now, let's move to the next thing. If you're a third or fourth wave feminist, submitting, nurturing, caring, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, those are all bad words. Those are all evil things. That makes you a pick-misha or a pick-me, okay? That basically kicks you out of the club. It means that you're begging for a man, okay? If you're MGTOW, protecting, providing, that makes you a simp. That makes you a cornball. That makes you a lame. That means you're going to get cheated on, okay? You're not supposed to be protecting and providing for anyone. You're not supposed to be cooking and cleaning for anybody, submitting and nurturing to anyone, or having a family with any woman, okay? Which brings me to my next point. Both of these philosophies, okay? So, what do I mean by that? Men go in their own way. Build your own kingdom. Don't get married. Don't have kids. Don't invite a woman into it. Just work, and then work out, and then come home and play the game, or type on your computer, or basically live like a hermit. What does third, fourth wave feminism say? You don't need no man. You're strong and independent. Go get you a dog. Go get you a cat. Work. Come home, drink wine, watch Netflix. Both of these promote isolation and ignore the fact that both men and women, humans as a whole, are social creatures and they're a lot less likely to be happy without family and friends to interact with, which brings me to my next point. Now listen, am I saying being by yourself is going to lead you to depression, loneliness, and rage? No, absolutely. Of course not. Am I saying you have to have kids or a family to not be depressed, lonely, or raging? No, of course not. But when you isolate yourself, you have no kids, you have no wife, you have no girl, you have no man, it's just you and your pets, and you just go to your job, okay? And then every time you see someone of the opposite sex, someone you're supposed to be loving, someone you're supposed to be procreating with, someone you're supposed to be building with, you just think about how the social norms and stuff that works against you, okay? You think about misogynistic or misandrous statements, okay? You think about how you're not going to do any traditional gender roles for them, and you essentially think about everything negative about them that's been sensationalized by both of these ideologies. You become depressed, lonely, and enraged because deep down you have a biological want to be with somebody, probably of the opposite sex unless you're in the LGBTQ plus community, but you cannot do it if you honestly believe in this ideology or if you honestly believe in that ideology. If you believe in either one of these ideologies, you're essentially condemned to a life by yourself, hating the opposing gender. Now again, I said third and fourth wave feminism because earlier feminism had nothing to do with that. Earlier feminism was about equal laws. But now it's a power trip. Just like MGTOW is a power trip. What this is really about is women trying to gain more power and men reacting by going away because they don't like the loss of power. When in reality, if we were able to just come together, respect each other's differences, and actually fight to actually understand each other and be equal, we wouldn't have all these problems. But neither one of these movements are concerned with that. These are power play movements. These are, if you're going to do this, we're going to do that. And that's, if you're going to do that, we're going to do this. These things are the exact same thing in polar opposition to each other. And that's why I say it's going to lead to depression, loneliness, and rage. Because if you follow all of these ideologies, there is no way you're going to have a happy, functioning, long-lasting relationship with anyone of the opposite sex, nor do you ever have a shot at being in a family because you'll be considered a pick-me-shit or you'll be considered a simp. So at the end of the day, when I see MGTOW talking points, and I see third, fourth wave feminism talking points, I see the same thing. I see the same agenda. I see the same agenda that is to break up homes, to empower the women, to empower the men, to be by themselves. And I know that human beings are social creatures, and they are not going to be happy that way 9 out of 10 times. Hence why my conclusion is both the ideologies lead to depression, loneliness, and rage, and I suggest that you guys get out of the mindsets of both, okay? That's my theory on that. I'm Alex, and I'm out. Peace.